Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and happy Monday to you all. Hopefully, your week is off to a great start, or if you're watching this at any other point in the week, hopefully, having a great day nonetheless. It is a great day indeed whenever we get to check out a new K-Band release, and once again, we get to check back in with the guys from Xdinary Heroes one time with their latest in their open beta series of singles with open beta version 6.2 titled Love and Fear. Boy Comics was not that long ago. Still a spectacular song, though. And the fact that we're getting more a K-Band release from Xdinary Heroes so quickly after their previous release, yeah, I'm never going to complain about that. So, I'm so ready to jump on board with this. I didn't know this was even happening today. Hey, usually I keep tabs on Xdinary Heroes' releases and stuff, but genuinely, this one has flown completely under my radar. And I was looking up the release calendar from today to see who had releases. And I just saw that there was an Xdinary Heroes entry added on. I'm like, ooh, Xdinary Heroes. So let's get into it, shall we? Here we go. I'd like to think that I have finally gotten members' names to faces in this group. I've ingrained it into my mind that Gaon and Junhan are on guitar, Ode and Jungsu are on synths, Gunil in the back on drums, Jun on bass. I know what instruments they play. I should know what they look like in terms of like visuals. Oda and Jungsu have very different faces. I should be able to clock in who's who. Gaon and Junhan, very different faces. I should be able to clock onto those two. So I'm gonna put that hopefully acquired knowledge to the test with this era. If I get names wrong, I can only apologize. But at this point, it's inexcusable. I should know their names by now. So let's get her going. Here we go. Oh, this is a little bit different. Hello, Colin. Oda. Jungsu on the other side. I think I got it! okay, I'm so here for it. But I'm also here for this song, because what is happening here? Oh, it's heavy. It's dark. Wow. It's almost... Who from the 80s scene does this remind me of? But it's got the big, almost like, not operatic, but similar vibes to that. You know what? Crank up the volume, I want it louder. And that early staggered start is just, it really drives that home, doesn't it? Oh boy! Oh, and we're still gonna get a proper vocal bridge as well. And again, the day and night having that syncopated rhythm, that staggered start, early start for the chorus, all the rhythm combinations. It's this post-chorus. We don't get it every single time, but well, damn. Oh. What was that? That's terrific. That's terrific. I love the heaviness of this. It's heavy, but it's fast and it goes. Thinking back on Xdinary Heroes titles that immediately come to mind that I have some experience with. Like Freaking Bad was pretty heavy. Break the Break was heavy. But Love and Fear takes that heavy to an entirely different direction. And it's a direction that's very almost nostalgic for me. Because this reminds me a lot of that 80s hard rock and heavy metal scene for some reason. Because I can't pinpoint who it reminds me of, but it reminds me of that time period. Not the entire song, mind you. There are certain parts throughout the song that definitely you can feel the 2020s-ness of, but there are certain moments throughout the song that just scream that 1980s sound to me. And as someone who grew up almost exclusively on 1980s music, and if I was ever with my mom on a car ride somewhere, it was always 80s hard rock music. I don't know if I've told this story on Xdinary Heroes releases, but I was the kid that at the age of like 5 when I was on an airplane flying somewhere that I got in trouble from my parents for singing Aerosmith too loud on an airplane. That was me. I was that kid. And ever since then I've managed to gather a plethora of bands from the 1980s that I love and adore. Def Leppard, my one true love. But Xdinary Heroes, the fact that they're able to combine that modern sound, the current day modern sound, with that nostalgic feeling from the 1980s, and sprinkle in some 1990s stuff in there as well. They're so easy to like. But go again. The big kind of operatic opening, there were groups that definitely did the big operatic opera rock type vibe. Queen were like the almost pioneers of opera rock in the 1970s and 1980s. This has traits of it. Very different execution, though, I feel like. Until we get the rest of the instrumentals in, there's a really interesting beauty to that opening first verse. It like sparkles. It has this really lovely, just like sustain over the entire thing, and it just rings, and you're kind of just left to bask in the glory of it all. And it's one of those, especially with that filtered gown vocal coming in, it's almost wispy, and it's really pretty. And then and now, we're getting modern with it now. That chromatic ascent into the melodic ascent, so instead of going every half note for the entire thing, da 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 da, I think I love little stuff like that, where I think the harmonic little harmonic essentially mean every single like note on the keyboard, white and black keys, whether they're in the key or not. The way the rate of increase changes. And that early stutter step hit. I'll stop. Like, I usually point out Juyeon's vocals on Xdinary Heroes release just because he's got one of my favorite male vocals in the Korean music scene right now. There's a really cool sharpness to his voice. But this chorus allows Juyeon to sit low in his voice, and low vocal Juyeon is a completely different story, and I love that we get almost an entire chorus of low vocal Juyeon. Like, go again. It just has a different thickness to it. And pair it with the more treble-loaded vocal from Jungsu there, too. And then throw it into halftime for this post-chorus. I guess it's not halftime, it's partially halftime. It's like the major beats are halftime, but the fills in the middle retain that full speed vibe. Oh, it's so technical and it's so fun to listen to. Oh. They've done it again. They've done it again. And you know what? There is a part of me that I know we're doing the on and off discography deep dive at the moment, and there's one more group in the queue that I need to do the deep dive for later this year. But I really want to do an entire Xdinary Heroes deep dive. You know what? In fact, I want to do both JYP K-bands as a deep dive at some point. Because with early Xdinary Heroes releases pre-Freaking Bad and that whole Deadlock album, I'm really not that well versed in. The only songs that I can confidently say I know from pre-Freaking Bad is Strawberry Cake. So we could go and do an Xdinary, like a very brief, I mean, because that's not a lot of music, right? Let me actually go and check that. Xdinary Heroes. We are all heroes. Yes, you are. Yeah, so Deadlock was my first era with them on camera. Overload with Haircut. Don't think I've listened to this album. Hello World with Test Me and Strawberry Cake. The only song I know is Strawberry Cake. Happy Death Day I've maybe listened to a couple times. So we could do those 3 albums at some point later down the road this year, should we have enough time to do those. So do let me know what you think about that. But in the meantime, that is going to be it for me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me. Say, let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day-to-day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.